It's the Dating with Katy podcast, and today we're talking about all things awkward in the beginning stages of dating, and heck, even in the middle and long stages of dating. My husband and I are a little bit awkward sometimes, and I find that interesting. I'm like, why is this still awkward? But nonetheless, I'm going to be bringing up topics that you know about because you've felt them on dates. When someone grabs your hand, when someone tries to kiss you, when someone wants to pick you up at your front door, we are going to be discussing how awkward that is and why you should or shouldn't be doing them. Well, thank you for joining today, and I hope that you get a chance to subscribe. As a matter of fact, I don't hope you get a chance. I hope you do subscribe. These are 15 minutes long, once a week, here to improve your dating life. I'm here for everybody. We're on team 20% here. Those are the people who are cool, quality, and ready to be in a great relationship. Because we know those 80%ers are listening to other podcasts that are not as good for the soul. So I hope that you have found this good for your soul, your dating soul. You're getting encouraged, you're getting confident, you're being successful, and you're having some fun dating. If you haven't had a chance, go ahead and click the work with me button. That is a great way to get in my database so you can go on a date with one of my great clients, and it's a great way to become a client. So there's a couple options in there, different ways to work with me. You're going to want to do that the minute you get done listening to this podcast, and you're going to want to send it to a single friend because the world needs a little bit better dating advice. Okay. Well, let's talk about some awkward dating moments because you know it happens. And I just want to say it's normal. It is normal to be awkward in dating. I don't care if you're on round 2, round 7, if you've dated 100 people. There are going to be people who make you awkward. Maybe you are that awkward person, and today's podcast is going to be helpful. And not only awkwardness, but there's going to be anxiety in dating. A lot of that these days, a little too much. I'm always like, just go pray about it. But I talked with a fellow matchmaker the other day, and her husband's very anxious. And I was on a podcast and like, Katy, what do you do if you're dating an anxious person? And I'm thinking, well, first, if you're too anxious, should you be dating? That's a great podcast. That's on limitations in dating. I think that's in the 70s. But here's the thing. If you are dating someone who is anxious, that's going to be awkward. My quick advice, and this is from the other matchmaker, she said, number one, you can't play games with someone who's anxious. And I don't care if you're anxious or not, you should be playing games either way. So I think that's just good dating advice for everybody. And number 2, she said you have to be a really good communicator. Again, I think that's good sound dating advice for everybody, whether that person is anxious or not. So if we could all just be those 20%ers who are not playing games and who are good communicators, I think it'll be better dating for everybody. Well, let's talk about some of these awkward moments. And at the very end of this podcast, you're going to want to stick around because I'm going to tell the men what they need to do about it and the women what they can do about these awkward moments. All right, awkward moment number 1, you're on the dating app and you finally got a phone number. You maybe are texting her and she says, hey, let's get on a call or even a FaceTime. Oh my goodness. What is this woman, crazy? What is this guy? Like, does he not believe I am who I am? Well, of course not. Because of AI, because of ghosters, because of fakers, because I don't even know the terminology anymore. I don't want to keep up because it just makes me sad. Of course, people want to jump on a phone call and jump on a FaceTime because they want to make sure you look like your pictures. Nobody's wasting time anymore. This is getting to be ridiculous. And they want to make sure that you are a good communicator. This is maybe your first test. I even do a whole podcast on tests that men and women give in dating. So you want to get on that phone call. And yes, it's going to be awkward, but here is my suggestion, is that men, you should be leading and you should be the one who says, hey, I'm going to text you. And this is what you do. You go from the text to the phone call because this is what you say in the text. You get her number online, you get her number in real life, and you send her a text. Text is the safest way. It's not awkward. It's not like this random phone call coming from a number this woman doesn't know and she thinks it's a butt dial. Who knows? She never picks it up. So you're going to send the text and you're going to say, hey, this is Ron, this is Bill, and we chatted on Bumble. Please refer to how you met her because she might have a lot of guys texting her. But it's just a polite thing to do is reiterate how you met. Met you on Bumble. I just wanted to send a text. Hope your day is going great. And I'd love to call you and just hear a little bit more about your day. And if it's a good fit, let me know a good time to call you. And then ladies, you're going to be polite back and you're going to quickly communicate and you're going to say, wow, thanks Bill so much for the text. I'd love to jump on a phone call with you because you're going to create that excitement. And I'm available at 5:00 tonight. Or between 7 and 9 or whatever it is, ladies, but just give him some options to work with, right? Because he might not be available. So let's take the awkwardness out of that first call. And here's the other thing too, guys, when you get on the call, again, we want you to be the leaders, or even ladies, if you need to do this, Say, hey, I only have 15 minutes for this call. Kind of give a timeline so no one's like, oh my gosh, is this going to go forever? And then let's say you hit that 15-minute mark and it's going great. You can either say, you know what, I could push back what I was going to do. Or if you're the guy, you could say, hey, are you still good on time? And if she says, no, I got to bounce, but let's plan a date, then get moving on those things. And it really helps everybody. We do this in business all the time. Like, hey, I have a call in 5 minutes, but I'd love to finish up with you. It's just like business etiquette, and it works really well in dating relationships as well. It's good communication. So I highly suggest you kind of do the text to the phone call. There, we've taken out the awkwardness, and now go plan the dang date. That's a whole nother podcast. I'm sure it's in there somewhere, guys. Okay, so moving on to the next one. The idea of picking her up on a first date. I get it. It's cute in theory, but in this day and age, it's a dead idea. Women have their own cars, they can get to their own places, and they want the availability to leave and to escape if it wasn't a great first date. I mean, let's be honest, I've had clients insist on picking her up, and I was like, don't do it, bro. Do not pick her up, let her drive her own car. And at the very end, he has to drive her home, and she was not into the date, and so now what? So ladies, do not say yes to a pickup on a first date. I think it's weird. I think it's outdated, and I'm super old school. And for safety's sake, you don't need to. If you want to bounce, if you need to go, you have all the luxury to do that when you have your own car. So guys, don't even offer it. You could say, I'm kind of old school. I like picking women up on the first date, but out of politeness to you, I'm going to wait until you're ready for that. Like always give her the option, always defer to her if you're not sure. If she's like, yeah, that sounds great. Well, then, ladies, you better be ready to be stuck and hopefully not pressured into anything. I mean, I recently asked the question on my Instagram, do you ever feel pressured into having sex with men or doing physical things because he bought you a meal? And sadly, some guys are like, yeah, I expect it. They actually voted that, yes, I expect physicalness out of a meal. And I'm like, what? Who are these followers of mine? And then, a lot of guys said, no, I don't expect it, but it would be nice. Whoa, slow that roll, buddy. Like that's a lot of expectation on a woman, and she feels it. And a lot of women gave comments about how they feel that. So again, bring your own car, girls. Bring your own car. Guys, just wait till you actually know her to offer to pick her up, and make sure you have a clean car because your stuff matters in dating. That's a whole podcast. Okay, next one. I just got a text today from a guy who's going on a second date. They're going putt-putt golf, and he says, Katy, should I bring her flowers? So right now on my Instagram, it's the question, on a second date, should he bring her flowers? Here's the irony. I quickly said, no, don't do it. Don't bring her flowers because sadly, you women are like, he's love bombing me. I don't know. Like it's gone bad. It's gone rogue, right? These sweet gestures men do has just gone rogue. So I suggested to him, and now ironically, everybody on Instagram, it's all the ladies are voting, yes, bring her flowers. Yes, bring her flowers. First off, what do you do with the flowers? You put them on a table, like you hold them, you throw them in the car. Like it's awkward in its own sense. But the guys are all saying, no, don't bring her flowers. No, don't bring her flowers. And I'm on team guy here because you all have done this and all these women have not received it well, which ladies, go listen to my last podcast. 5 things men are looking for, and being receptive is one of them. So instead, do this. First off, guys, you don't even know what kind of flowers she likes. It's even more special when you bring her something she really loves and we see you put the effort in. Because I'll tell you what, I hate red roses that are mixed with baby's breath. Blech. Like if my husband brings me those, I'm like, what are these old lady flowers? No carnations, no baby's breath. I don't want it all mixed together. So you need to get to know her. So I suggested on this second date, and if you've been following me long enough, first date's a dinner date, sit down, look at each other, get to know each other, see how they treat the waitstaff. Second date is your fun date. Make it fun. Go do something fun. Axe throw. They're going to putt-putt golf, bowling, like bike riding. See how she is in that kind of environment. So they're going to putt-putt golf, and this is what I said. Tell her that when you win, you're going to bring her favorite flowers on your third date. So she better put in her order now. Kind of, get that little competitive spirit out and kind of show her that I'm going to beat you in this putt-putt golf. And again, even if you lose or pretend to lose or whatever, I don't care, still bring her the flowers, right? So you're double winning now. And you're going to see why later this kind of voicing what you're going to be doing is so important. I'm going to share a really personal story. So give her that kind of idea that it's going to be coming. All right, when he grabs your hand on the date. I had a client, he was so eager, so excited, so Mr. Lover. It was too much. These women were like, what are you doing? He reached across the table and grabbed her hand. Whoa, slow the roll, bro. Just slow the roll. Let her decide when there is touching involved. And ladies, go ahead and touch a guy. It's not the end of the world. I think a hand grab is a little much. I think a slight smack on the arm it kind of opens the door to let these guys know, yeah, I kind of like you. A little hit on the thigh, a little like thumb war, but a whole hand grab in the middle of a first date, oof, that's a lot, you know? And a guy, you could say something like, wow, I would just grab your hand right now if I could reach it. And see if she responds to that, you know, just kind of a playful pretend and see how she is responding. Okay, the next one, and guys, you are going to, you all know this one. It's the hug or the kiss at the end of the date. And that was a big question some of you had for me on Instagram. Of course, I'm not on the date with you. I cannot preface that. First off, ladies, I have to remind you, guys do not have cooties. A kiss is just a kiss. Guys, it's the safest thing you can do is just to give her a big hug and a forehead kiss right here. If you think it went well, you can mention that on the walkout. Wow, this went really well. I really had a great time, and I'd love to see you again, but think about it, go home and let me know. Always give her space and then give her a hug. I mean, at the end of the day, my husband and I, we do 4 hugs a day. We have like a minimum. After this, I'm going to go out and get one. We're not out there making out all the time. We're hugging each other. And that's really what tenderness is. And women are looking for men that are tender and not just trying to lock lips. Okay. So give her a big hug and a big hug. I'm talking like a manly big bear hug. Like there's nothing better. And, if you need to do it on the side hug, some girls are a little tense. You can read her. Men are very intuitive. Guys, I know you are. You can read this woman. Say, hey, I want to give you a big hug. Are you good with that? I mean, if she needs to have this whole scripted out, then do it. But a hug, you can easily say, come here, I'm going to give you a big hug and make sure you're safe when you get home. So text me. That's it. How cute and sweet is that, right? You're just going to make it simple. So she doesn't have to think, oh my gosh, is he going to kiss me? Is he not? Like, just give her the hug. Actually, just give her the hug because then maybe you'll get the second date. Some of you are going in for the kill in the middle of dinner and she's like, whoa, I'm in the middle of my spaghetti. Can you just not kiss me right now? I mean, unless she's flirting and touching and just giggling all over. But again, is her intention right? Women who are slow to do all that, it's because they're waiting to see if your heart is good. Are you really going to try to win her heart before you get her body? I talked about that last podcast. Ladies, he needs to win your heart before he gets your body. So just be smart and wise about that. I'm looking for people, I guess I'm talking to the people who really want a quality relationship. And I wanted to say this disclaimer earlier on in the beginning because I'm going to address this in a minute, which is this one. If they're not paying attention to you on the date. So this isn't about awkwardness. This is now like you've ticked me off, right? And this whole podcast is more about the awkward moments, but there's awkward moments when she is checking her phone too much. She's in the bathroom for a long time. Her phone keeps ringing or buzzing and you can hear it in her purse. Then there's the guys that are looking at other women or they're looking away and eyes are unfocused on her. I mean, we both have seen both sides of that story. And really in those moments, just take inventory because on a first date, there's only 2 things you should be doing. And this is what I have always taught. You should be, number 1, having fun. Look, even if your date's lame, you can still be a fun person. It's happened. I always know that I'm having fun because I'm fun. But number 2 is, are they being attentive? And that's a really important thing. So it can make the date awkward and it can also make you full of anxiety and angst and frustration. So make sure that you're not that person doing it. If somebody is doing that, I'd say that's probably a pass. Or you could bring it up and say, hey, I thought our first date was good, but you checked your phone a lot. Is that something you're going to need to do on every date? There is nothing wrong with bringing up an issue because you're going to have to do them in a real relationship anyway. So practice early. So here's the last 2 things, guys. And I'm glad you waited around to hear these because this is what men can be doing and what ladies can be doing. Now, I'm going to preface this with the fact that we want men to be leading 100%. And when I say 100%, that's obviously not going to happen. I always say, when I was a trainer at Equinox, people used to say, well, how often do you work out, Katy? And I'd say, my goal is 7 out of 7 days a week. But the truth is I probably only get 6 or 5 of those days. And so if we kind of aim the goal high, if we hit a little bit lower, it makes sense, right? Because life gets in the way. Well, guys, I'm going to ask that you be the leader 100% of the time. Now, that's unrealistic. And I know there's somebody out there saying, oh, girls should put in 50% of the exact same amount of work that I put in, right? It should be 50-50. And if you're a 50-50er and you want to split everything and you want her to do the equal amount of work, then you should not be listening to my podcast. If you want something a little bit more liberal, then you can go for that. But we're old school over here, and we are turned on, and we are just excited about a man who is the leader. All right. And this new era of masculine men and that are coming back, I'm so excited for it. Those are listening to Sean Whalen. There's the Man on Fire. I mean, there's so many great groups of men that are just like, hey guys, what happened? Like, let's get back in the lead. Let's show these women that we are worthy to be leaders, and they will follow. And we're not blindly following. I mean, we're pretty dang smart on this side too. So we're just excited to see that group of men rising up. I am, at least. So men, when I ask you to be the 100% leader in all this, I mean, I've given a lot of great advice here, and I'm going to give you one more tip that's going to be the keeper, is that you're not going to do it 100% of the time. Obviously, ladies, men can't do everything, but in the sense that, I like to think if you could lead 80% of the time, you could lead, and this is how you do it. You don't have to lead with making every decision and every call, but if you did this, it would be a huge help. If you would foreshadow what you see. So that's intentionally living, right? That's intentionally being in a relationship, intentionally going on these dates with this woman that is intentionally sharing and foreshadowing. Now, we all know what foreshadowing is, right? In a book, you kind of see a little tidbit or a snippet, or in a movie, and it's like a flash to what's to come, right? So women are looking for that. Let me give you a great example of how my husband did not foreshadow when we got engaged, and I got a little cranky about it because I didn't know what to wear. So we had gone on a trip to Florida. It was finally warm. I like warm, sunny places. He knew that about me. He had planned this picnic on the beach, and he wanted me to wear white. Well, he had told me that we were not getting engaged that weekend, which I don't like surprises. So I didn't bring the right outfits because he told me we weren't getting engaged that weekend. And I get he was trying to change my expectations by making it a surprise, but know your woman and also have what I call a backup, always have a wing girl. So my daughter is my husband's wing girl. Like, he can always kind of filter things through her and then foreshadow them with her. So she was like, oh, Mom, what are you doing this weekend with Jim? And she could kind of add a little hint. Hinting would have been really helpful that weekend because I would have packed the right outfits. And I have to tell you, I was upset that night. So I had worn, the night before we got engaged, we had gone out to dinner. I'd worn this cute white outfit. There's a photo on my Instagram. It's like a 2-piece outfit. So cute. It's white. I mean, I just brought it maybe just in case, but I wore it because we had no plans of getting engaged. Sure enough, the next night I put on this little pink dress, and he goes, I don't like that dress for tonight. I go, well, that's all I got. I already wore my white outfit. I'm not wearing it 2 nights in a row. I mean, I like wearing my clothes, so I like to rotate them out. And he goes, why weren't you in the white outfit? And I was like, oh boy, I'm getting engaged. Now I got to wear this white outfit. The white outfit I wanted to wear is back home. So I'm frustrated, right? This is right before we're trying to get down to the picnic. And if he had just kind of foreshadowed before the whole weekend and said, hey babe, we might have some fun events that we have to go to, I don't need to not know. I'd rather know, and I'd rather be excited in the knowing and kind of in the planning. And so if he had foreshadowed that, it would have taken a lot less of the stress off from that day because I would have had the right outfit. And I don't know about you ladies, but I want the right outfit at the right time each time I go somewhere. So guys, if you could just learn to foreshadow. Again, it's just like my buddy Jim, who's going on the second date to putt-putt golf. He did the foreshadowing, right? He's going to start putt-putt golf with, hey, when I beat you, I'm going to bring you your favorite flowers, so I'm taking orders right now. He foreshadowed that, and I'm going to bring them to you on our third date. Hello, it's a win-win. She's like, okay, cool. He wants a third date. And okay, he's fun, and he's listening, and he's hearing. So again, that is the most important things you guys could be doing. And ladies, could you please help a guy out? He doesn't read your mind. And so you need to be dropping hints and dropping them in a tone that is thoughtful and sweet and cute. So I could have, asked my hubby, hey baby, are we going to be getting engaged this weekend? Because I want to bring a cute dress. I could have started with that. Ladies, you can say something like this on a date. Hey, I think you're really great. I mean, a second date, I'm a big girl at putt-putt golf, or I love me some Topgolf. You can also be adding in the ideas. So this is where, as much as he's leading, you're also directing, girls. So always bring those kind of talk in. Now, if she's not saying that, she might not want a second date, and that does happen. And that's awkward, I know, but we're going to be doing a podcast soon here where it's how to tell somebody that you're not that into them. I mean, we all need to be good at this, and believe it or not, in my Instagram poll, only 50% of you said you were good at it. So we have got some work to do here. But until then, you guys, I want to thank you so much again for subscribing. I hope this was helpful. Awkwardness is going to happen, but let's make it better, and maybe write down some of these ideas. I have a buddy who sent me his Katy list. He writes them down as he's listening to the podcast. I mean, write it word for word. Go ahead, steal my words. If it makes your date less awkward, then that's a win. All right, until your next date, this is Dating with Katy.